Oui. Je m'appelle Lafayette.
What?
Huh?
Hmm. Anyway.
What's with the D100? Oh, Lucy Cow!
Close. Anyway, we're ready.
Yeah.
Alright.
Ah,
Tell me when we're rolling.
we are rolling.
We are oh god, we're rolling.
Ben, do you want to ask one more time if everyone's ready?
I mean,
Are
is
you
everyone
ready,
ready?
kids?
I don't know.
I
don't-
can't hear you.
Well, that's
Are you ready, kids?
aye, Captain. We don't want to get sued. Hello. Well,
Sorry, it's have 7 seconds of it, I
You've got
think.
to have money before you get sued.
Also, it's a cover,
I see. Yeah.
so there's different rules about
I
that.
don't think they'll flag it if no one watches the video.
Unless Abby is a real snake.
Maybe we should stop being nice about her character.
Welcome back to D&D. Last session, you guys did some brawling. So you had heard from Hackada. I can't remember if you first met Hackada last session or the session before. I think it was last session. Last session you found out that Hackada ran the Blazing Boar. You also found out that your crew had gone gallivanting in a place called Coverdale, down south, and, well, sort of on the east coast, and had burned down a tavern, slept with a lot of people and frolicked, and your ship basically had the words "cheating bastards" on, like, written in bold and big on your sails. So now people refer to your crew as the cheating bastards, which is fun.
It's okay, Nick. It's okay.
You met Hackada, and he sort of greeted you and chatted with you alone, basically saying, look, I know why you're here. You're probably here for Hallowhand. It's no coincidence that you guys are here at the same time. I have a lot of debts to Hallowhand, so if... well, actually, you made the proposal that obviously we take him out, clear his debts, but to take him out we need the information he has on him. And he sent you to one of Hallowhand's men, who hangs out in a place called the Coastal Creek. There we go. Not the Christopher Creek. The Coastal.
Stop bringing up a pub in Bournemouth.
The Coastal Creek. You got there, were asked to take off your weapons and stuff as you went inside, as it's known for being a bit of a rowdy place. And a plan was made to, like, act drunk and be all this stuff. Oramis tried to charm the person, unfortunately failed, and to disguise his charming against one of the barmaids. Mazzy stepped in and turned on the charm. Remember, you've got an inspiration point for that, because that was fucking hilarious. Because, as we all know,
Vomit inducing.
right here. It's all right here. Anyway, you... The Oramis went up, pretended to be drunk. Griffin took a more punchy approach.
Snappy
Approach, but having his face utterly bashed and battered into the table a couple of times. Oramis leapt up on the desk, kicked the guy in the face, got on his back, and after withstanding being crushed under this guy's weight, bit his freaking ear off. Meanwhile, Mazzy was taking out a couple of people, helping out with this main guy. Griffin summoned some skeletal wings, and his eyes darkened, dealing a lot of damage. And Felix was just having fun. He was just being a real Chad and having a great old time.
Did you say Chad or Chav?
Chad.
Chad.
Enlarging Griffin, tripping a guy down the stairs, just having a great old day. At the end of the battle, at the end of the brawl, you did manage to sort of take out all this guy and all of his mates, and take him outside. After which he told you that Hallowhand was back in Ambyr to go to a specific temple. This temple being an old temple of Njord, the god of the sea and seafaring. This temple, after a history check from you guys and some information that he knew, is very, very, very old, from very, very old age of Ambyr, and was under siege a very, very long time ago. This means that a lot of it is sort of sunken, a lot of it is sort of decrepit and destroyed. It's no longer used. It hasn't been used for, all these years. It's just been battered by the sea day after day. But it seems that Hallowhand needs or wants something in there. And so that he's not sort of putting his crew in danger or whatever, he's hired some Safwajin guards, Safwajin being fish people, essentially, who are currently at war with the ocean elves. They owed him a favour, so you got some of them to help him out. And we'll pick up there with you guys. So you guys are still, like, you've just killed this guy. You've just killed this Goliath. In the back alley. So you obviously know that this place is going to be fairly dangerous. Hallowhand might be there. However, it is now starting to get fairly late. If you remember that this guy was going for his supper, so it's starting to get a little bit dark. And obviously, seafaring when it's dark, close to cliffs, especially if there's potential enemies, not necessarily a terrible idea. You could obviously do it if you so wish to head there right now.
If there's any captain that could do it, it's me.
What is it you guys would like to do?
So we're fresh out of Luke just slicing this guy's throat.
Pretty much.
Having acquired a lot of the information we need, I'll just look across at him and say, "What's the play now, sailor boy?"
I think we should rest up and arm ourselves.
I'm game for any fight, but I think we seem a little outnumbered.
Aye. That be true.
Well, he told you it was obviously he didn't take the entire friggin' army with him. It was just a small detachment that they could lend while they were at war. But, yeah, you can probably assume that you are somewhat outnumbered.
So we face worse odds.
That's true. I have.
Actually, we've not done anything together, but
Mazzy and I have faced worse odds. You've just rocked up.
We have indeed.
Mazzy, how do you see this playing out? Do you think we've got the strength on our own?
It'll probably be rather even with your crew, I believe.
Oh, the boys.
But
I can't remember how we said they would come into fights, by the way. But
they better hold their own.
But obviously, in ship to
they're just generic.
In ship-to-ship combat, they'll do their thing. However, I will say, as you guys are, you guys have just come back to your crew. You're fairly, and you've obviously done a lot during this time. Your crew are very confident that they've picked the right captain for the job. I mean, he took down a tower of demons. He's supposedly killed a god. He's done all this
they
stuff.
pick you, Luke?
Doesn't give us pressure.
But they picked me by not betraying me.
There's been no mutiny yet.
There's been no mutiny.
And so I will allow you. Obviously, when you're not on the ship, most of your crew will have to remain on the ship. But I will allow you to take one of your men as a NPC ally, a retainer of sorts, who can go with you and fight alongside you in the situation.
Frank or Mason?
You're gonna die.
Or Didier? So
I
many
say
options.
Jed's got a point. Who'd you like the least?
Little bit French boy, Beaucanaire.
Wasn't that Hattie's suggestion?
Yeah.
Good to see where your loyalties lie.
Alright, Caspian can come because he's a little mercenary murderer.
I don't care how good a captain you think you are. It doesn't matter when they have a lot more ships than we do.
You haven't seen how I sail this.
I'm not a naval warfare expert, but I feel like if you head in there, was this cave only accessible by sea?
That did seem to be the conclusion for what you guys got, and I think he mentioned how many ships. Like I think he said like there was like 2 ships.
We'll get in a rowboat and we'll sneak attack.
Okay.
If
it's only 2 ships, I withdraw all of what I just said, and we'll probably be okay.
Yeah. Let's go.
Do you have any allies you could call on?
I have many allies. I do indeed. Yes, sirree.
Insight check.
Roll insight, I guess.
Against what? Oramis' persuasion. There's no fucking point, is there?
Against Oramis' deception. Although I don't know whether you're actually trying to deceive him right now, or whether this is just oh yeah, here you go.
Okay, make him roll.
Deception, yes?
Deception.
Shall I roll deception with the Dragon's Revenge instead? The Dragon's Revenge has a +3 to deception.
He does seem very cool. He must have other friends.
I do indeed.
Okay. I think we go rest up then.
You go rest up? Are you resting on the ship, or are you resting in a tavern, or are you what?
What are we doing, JJ? Because last time we were all like, yeah, let's not go on that ship, and then we almost got
Didn't we wake up, meet up, and come here?
Well, you woke up.
We killed the day, didn't we?
Yeah, you just sort of like killed the day.
Oh, okay.
Did whatever.
We put Luke's sails up.
Just around dinner time.
Yeah.
Luke's crew got a sails, rigged new sails and things like that. None of you seemed particularly interested to do a lot. You said that you were looking around at sort of blacksmithing and stuff.
Yeah, I just remembered we'd killed most of the day, and this is the evening again.
Yes. So yes, this is the evening once more. The sun is setting. It's not quite set. It is setting.
Got to wait for the tides to be right.
The tide must be right.
Want to try and go in under the cover of darkness, or?
I think looking at the tides, I think we need to take a short rest to wait for the tides to get level to sail.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to go off today, you obviously can do.
I think maybe 2 hours or 3 hours. Sail in the middle of the night.
Well, we might as well take a long rest because he's not going anywhere, is he? We killed the source. Although this might get back to him, it just depends how quickly. I think we do that long rest and go in the morning.
Yeah, let's do that. Fine.
Long rest, okay.
Long rest doing it in the morning. So, again, I ask, where are you staying? Is anyone picking out a tavern in amongst the city, or are you just staying on the boat?
I'm obviously staying on the boat.
I was on the boat last time, so I'm staying on the boat.
Mazzarious staying on the boat. Felix Griffin.
However,
go for the boat because he's earned my respect a bit by ripping that guy's ear off.
That's fair. Felix, on the boat or on a tavern? In a tavern.
I'll go with Griffin.
Cool. All staying on the boat. The lack of Chikara, you notice, Aramis, has left a lot more room for people to sleep, and it's less sort of packed in here. But there we go. You all managed to take a long rest. The docks are heavily guarded in this place, obviously. This being... Oh, we lost Luke. Well, that's Luke's bit over, so...
That's the mutiny.
So, obviously, this being the Shattered Coast, the docks are guarded quite sort of well. Like, it's sort of like an unwritten rule. Like, you don't go for a man's ship unless you're like really meaning business, because obviously that's how a lot of the trade and stuff comes in here. So, you're able to sleep on the boat just fine. You can all take a long rest, regain any hit points.
You got any good food on the boat?
Yes, we have rations on the boat.
Yeah, any
does that count as good food?
Fresh fresh fish. If you can catch any. With these fishing rods my dwarven friends left.
So no food on
no
board.
is the answer, yeah.
Is there anywhere, before we like bed down, like in the evening, is there anywhere that's like selling food nearby? Like that I can wander up and
like
down the docks and like buy a...
Yeah, there's a
I'm
couple of
basically
markets
looking
that
for a chip shop.
people sort of thinking, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, roll an investigation check. Why not? And a D100.
Oh. That's a 7 and a 75.
Okay. So how long were you planning on looking for a chip shop? Fish and chip
Probably
shop.
only like anything in like within eyesight of the boat.
Oh, okay, yeah. You don't really see anything. You get back to the boat. You sort of start thinking, oh, I'm a little bit peckish, a little bit hungry, but so within eyesight of the area, you can't see anything. You can probably assume there might be one somewhere, but yeah, you definitely can't see anything here. Here, it's sort of like you can see like 1 or 2 market stalls open in and around the docks, like this late at night, where it's quite quiet. The only sort of sounds being people's different parties on their boats and stuff. But there are like 1 or 2 sort of like merchants who are keeping their stalls open, and just the stench of their fish definitely tells you that you probably shouldn't eat that shit. Like these are the kind of merchants who are like, no one else is open at night, so I'll be open at night and I'll get lots and lots of service because people love eating at night. No, they're fucking idiots, basically.
Imagine, what's your USP? I'm open at this time. Nothing about the quality of food.
Exactly. Yeah. Pretty much. But that's about all you got. I'm afraid.
Rations it is, then.
Rations it is. You can all mark off some rations. Take a long rest. You wake up pretty early in the morning, I'd imagine. The sun, obviously, it's still sort of the colder months, so the sun sort of rises around sort of 6/7 in the morning. Around sort of, I don't know, what would you got? I'm assuming you guys would be heading out fairly early. Probably around 7 or 8. Sun is sort of just sort of now pretty much fully up, and just as the sun sort of crests over, these sort of golden light dims from the sky, and it's quite a nice day, you think, for sailing. A decent day. It's strong winds, but somewhat clear skies. Should be pretty good.
How are the tides, Oramis?
On the sea.
They are with us.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excellent. And with that, you set out upon the sea. Now, before you set out, I will remind you that obviously this place is this place does have some like I mentioned, it was obviously sunk. Probably a lot of it, you can assume, was sort of taken by the sea. Now, most of you guys being obviously warriors would probably have the common awareness to be like, oh, well, me in this clanky armor probably might not work amazingly in those situations. Just something to keep in mind. But there we go. But unless there's anything else anyone would like to do in the morning,
immediately take off my armor. I'm joking. Crack on.
We can set off, and Oramis, you can make me a persuasion or intimidation check on, that is, how you command your crew on this fine day, and this might give them a bonus when making certain checks. 33 with advantage, but unfortunately it's not with advantage, but a 20 is still very, very good. Could you now roll me a dexterity check on behalf of your crew? You've got 20, so I will say with advantage.
Sure. Do I do that off of the ship's...
no, do that off your crew's.
Or just... yes, the crew have their own thing.
I think they do anyway. Otherwise, do
They
it off
do.
the
You're right.
ships. I think the crew do have one, but it's like really crap. Crew.
15.
15. Actually, I shouldn't have got you to use the crew, but whatever. From now on, I'll use the ship. But either way, 15. Pretty good. I think they have the same dexterity score, so it doesn't really make a difference. 15. Pretty good. Yeah. Your crew managed to sort of hustle, happy to be once again back sailing with their captain. A bit of a nice change. You can see who's the what's it fucking called? It's not a first mate. Yeah,
First mate?
Actually, yeah, it is the first mate. Who's the first mate of your ship?
Right, it's Frank.
Well, like you see him almost instinctively like go for the helm of the ship, and then sort of has to briefly back away, realizing, oh yeah. And again, like you hear him start barking orders, and then he has to like stop himself, like, oh, sorry, Captain, kind of thing. But your ship, your crew are in pretty good stead, and your ship as well carves its way through the ocean beautifully. And considering the sort of like weeks that you've had since sort of last being with your ship, this is definitely a very, very nice change. Very, very good to be back. You're sort of getting towards the coast because your crew sails so well to go up the coast. Nothing really happens. It is a average day for sailing. Is there anything anyone would like to do while you're traveling? It takes probably a couple of hours. It takes maybe a couple of hours to get to this destination. Is there anything anyone would like to be doing during this time?
Could I go to the front of the ship? Is it the bow of the ship? Is that
Yes.
the front or is that the back? That's the stern, that's back.
Yeah, to the bow.
And just sort of looking out over the sea.
Mm-hmm.
And not so much as a prayer, but kind of out loud. Can I address Dolus and just say I could really use your help defeating the Hallowhand? Just let that kind of hang in the air. No, I'm not praying to him or anything like that. Just kind of talking to myself.
You
I wouldn't speak to praying.
Nah, well, yeah,
receive
he's not
any,
praying kind of guy.
you don't receive any sort of word back, but there is a brief moment where you realise that he is somewhat listening, because as you sort of turn back and you take this deep sort of breath, somewhat completely changing the mood altogether, one of your crewmates just sort of goes to sit down for a second after they've just been pulling something, and a fart noise happens. And then in your ear, the voice of Doros just because apparently the god of tricks has nothing better to do than make whoopee cushion noises under people's
Cool. Sounds good.
So you can definitely tell.
Oh god,
You
sorry.
can definitely somewhat tell he's been listening. What were you saying, Samsung?
Can I dice with Oramis's crew?
Placing,
As long as Oramis doesn't join in.
Like placing dice with Oramis's crew. I will say that Oramis currently has 7 out of 9 crew members. All of these crew members are required to sail the ship.
Or even if we're just coasting.
I guess.
I'll play dice with you.
I guess, like even just posting, like a lot of them.
I don't like you, Matt.
Watch. A lot of them are sort of pulling on
You
rigging.
like Mazzy?
You can't just sort of, like it somewhat is a case of going straight, but a lot of the time you do have to sort of tack and turn to keep in with the wind and things like that. So they're sort of being ready for that sort of thing.
I'll dice with Mazzy then.
Dice, placing dice with Mazzy. All right. So if I could get the both of you then to roll, we'll play the sort of somewhat equivalent of blackjack. So it's 3d6. You both will roll 2d6 right now. Or who would like to go first, rather? Last that.
Mazzy, you may go first.
Oh, cheers. 2d6.
2d6. Closest to 18 wins.
Oh, good start.
Oh,
Better start.
Alright, Mazzy, roll 1d6. 1. You're up to 9. Griffin.
Oh, that's a tough spot. 16. Do I stick or twist? Do I have to decide now, or can I see what my
you decide on your turn.
I'm obviously going to go. So what am I now? 9, 13.
13. Do you stick or do you go?
I'm going again.
16. I'm going to stick.
You're going to stick? Alright.
What have we bet on this, by the way?
16.
You may go again. So you're on 14.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, Matt.
Oh,
no.
what?
Oh! 17!
17 and a 5-card trick. 5 dice trick. What do I lose?
Matt takes the pot. I don't know what you bet on it. What did you bet on it?
What?
We didn't bet anything, you stupid idiot.
That was the warm up.
Okay.
Warm up. Right.
What are we betting?
Start.
Oh, great. What
We're
are we
gonna
betting?
bet just 1 gold on this, yeah?
Okay.
1 gold. Adventurous. I like it. Alright, Griffin.
Oh, okay.
14. 11.
I've
Do
got
I
it again.
see?
Fuck. Bust.
Do I see this happening?
I would say you probably do see this happening. Mazzy, you are on
16.
16.
And I'm 1 gold richer. That's what I am.
And you are 1 gold richer.
Got
Indeed.
nothing.
Oramis, yes, you would probably see, obviously it's a fairly small, it's a sloop, so it's not necessarily small, but there is very little space for sort of people to sort of hide, I guess, while sort of playing dice and stuff like that. And even just the sort of shouts of Mazzy winning or Griffin losing.
Yeah.
Mazzy, I've rolled again.
Pull your attention.
For double or nothing.
Oh, we don't have nothing. Okay.
So I see this happening.
Yeah, probably.
Can I go up to my friend Mazzy and just sneakily give him some dice?
Oh, no.
Ooh, 16.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
I've done 2. Shit,
just,
sorry.
If you would like to, what do you sort of say as you? How do you sort of approach?
Wait.
No, I'm on 10. You've
I
rolled.
just say
I'm on 10. I'm going off the one I got before because I was rolling 2.
go up to him.
Okay.
So I'm on 10, I think.
Mazzy, focus here. Focus. It's all here. It's all here, Mazzy.
I'm in a game. This is intense.
No. I just go up to him and I like go to shake his hand and say like best of luck with the dice and try and slip
14.
him my fucking
Okay.
dice, but it keeps rolling.
Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand check.
Me or Oramis?
Oramis.
Oh, fucking hell, I'm not going to say that, am I?
And now roll a perception check for Griffin. No, you do not.
Close.
So I haven't been keeping thing of this dice. You guys have just been rolling. I've been
Yeah, so we started on. I did 2 and 2, so I got 4. Mazzy then got 4. I got 2. Mazzy, you then did. I'll consider that your next 2 goes. So you did 10. You got to 10. I then went to 8. You then went to 14. You rolled 2 again.
Yeah, I actually rolled 2. 10 my first goes on both of them. So 4,
Fuck is wrong with you, man?
4, 9, 10, 11. I'm on 15.
You're on 15.
Okay. Are we doing 5-card tricks? 5 dice tricks?
Yeah, that is the sort of.
Okay, right. I've won. Give me your money. Oh, no, actually, that just means we break even. Do you know what? I think we're going to call it there. As fun as this has been.
No, we'll go double or nothing again.
Oh, right. Okay.
2 gold. 2 gold. 2 gold.
So no one's got anything at the moment.
That's...
How much do you want to bet?
Right, okay, let's up it. Let's go 5 gold.
5
That's a
gold.
bet.
Okay, fine. Right, cool.
5 gold.
You go first.
5 gold.
I think I've just rolled a 6.
So you rolled a
there's 2.
6
I think-
and
then I'd roll 1 more. Oh, I got 7 to start with.
7 to start with. 9 to start with. Strong.
9.
Mazzy, your turn.
I've just rolled another 6. What is happening? Oh, I'm
Oh,
so lucky.
fuck!
I'm on
15.
13.
Wow.
15. No, 13. Sorry.
Oh, what's the other roll? Oh no, we're just doing one, aren't we?
Yeah.
So you're on 13. I'm on 9. I've rolled 2 again. Take my first one. I'm
Oh,
on
my
14.
Take your first one.
This is a
Awesome.
mess.
I think I just rolled a 6 again. What is happening here? It's just amazing. I'm on 19.
What?
It's first to 18, so you've gone bust.
Oh, shit. I generally thought it was 21.
Oh
Sorry.
my god. I gave him a load of dice and he still went bust.
Mazzy gets confused with the card game.
I'll go with swords, not with
immediately
numbers.
busts.
Azzy, what's your intelligence modifier?
Clearly not enough.
I think it should go down 1, yeah. Alright, I'll add
No, I
I'll add
generally
5
thought it was
gold
only
to my
21.
total.
Add
you.
5 gold to your total.
I'm going to chuck this dice back at Oramis so it doesn't work.
And we will swiftly move on before this becomes just I was about to say an evening of rolling dice, but that's what it is.
Shock.
Felix, what is it you are doing
Can
aboard?
I find a quiet spot on the boat? Take out my
Yeah.
pistol and my notebook and like just spend what do you say we had like a couple of hours? We'll spend like an hour and a half like working on improvements and like maybe like taking bits off and sketching them and putting them back on again and stuff like that. See if I can work out or like
Make me a tinkering
Yeah.
tools check.
how to improve that tinkering tools check.
I believe that should be intelligence plus proficiency.
Sorry, my sheet is being really slow. I might have to roll this manually. There's a 16 on the dice, plus 5 intelligence,
Plus
I think I have proficiency.
4
with it.
proficiency. Yeah.
I think I have
yeah,
proficiency
you
with
do
tinkering
that.
tools, and I think that's doubled because of my fire broom. So
Oh,
I
shit.
taken up to 29.
29. Yeah, you make very, very good progress with this thing. You manage to, in this very, very brief amount of time, sort of clear the weapon out. You find a lot of sort of areas where you can improve the weapon. And I'll count this as technically 2 successes towards upgrading the weapon, should we say. You need 3, I'm going to say, to like 3 sort of periods of time where you're just like doing nothing but sort of repairing the weapon over like a long rest or a situation like this. I'll say because you rolled a freaking 29. Yeah, I'll say that counts as 2. That counts as 2 successes, 2 out of 3 before you can upgrade the weapon with something. We'll say. But very nice. Yeah, you are able to do that. And as the hours sort of roll by, eventually you hear the call from one of your crew who has gone up to the very sort of small crow's nest that's atop the mast. You shout on, Captain, I think I found it. And as you're sailing forward, he sort of throws you down the spyglass he's using, able to look through, and you do see this temple. This temple has about sort of 5 or 6 columns out its front, almost very sort of reminiscent of like old Greek temples, but sort of built into the side of a large cliff, a very, very large cliff. Like sort of like 300 feet tall sort of cliff, like White Cliffs of Dover style. This temple is much smaller, but it does have these 2 large towers either side, which expand all the way up the cliff. Both towers are crumbling most of the way, and a lot of the columns on the front face of the place have been destroyed and left to the sea. There was once probably a open sort of stepway out in a small dock for people to sort of stop and pray and things like that, but this has also all been destroyed and replaced by a large sort of section of boulders and rocks and things like that. You probably think you could park up, your ship there. You could sort of anchor down in that sort of area. That would be no issue to do. But as you're sort of sailing forward, everyone make me a perception check.
Okay.
Oh, very nice.
Oh,
very nice.
I don't think I see anything down below if I'm like
That's a good point.
Down by
Well,
so.
Oramis, you sort of are taking a look. Griffin, you react to all of this. This guy sort of telling you that he's seen something, and you head straight to the front of the ship, and you're able to sort of look out into the distance. Oramis, you're sort of looking through the spyglass, and you're mainly looking at the temple, but something does catch your eye in and around the water. Griffin, you would see it first, not sort of being so focused with the spyglass. Shapes begin to move under the water. Very large sort of shadows, slowly rising and rising and rising. I'll say they do not have a surprise round, as you have seen them, and can, aka as the captain has seen them, and he can give the call. But rising, spearheading out of the water, are two large ships. These ships are made from somewhat rotting wood. They are just a bit smaller than the Dragon's Revenge, the current one. Sloop-sized, but with sort of triangular masts rather than your sort of square one. No guns aboard the ship, but a lot of sort of smaller, like ballistas sort of things. And you can see the sort of shine and shimmer of the scales of the suffragine aboard. Oy. They each hold tridents and spears and swords, and they shout and scream up. Bits of seaweed caught all over the ship, barnacles and that spreading literally everywhere over the ship, over the mast, over the sails, things like that. They are a fair ways off. In fact, I will show you exactly the amount of ways off. Here. So, I'm assuming you can all see that.
Yes.
So, obviously, this area up here is the temple. They have appeared sort of just in front of the temple and have started in their sort of rising to turn and head towards you. These are sort of small little sort of islands, not very big, obviously, given their size. They're sort of islands of rock and things like that. And now we move to ship combat.
Huzzah!
Be fairly interesting. So, ship combat is fairly similar to regular combat, but also fairly different. So obviously you roll initiative, you act on your turn, yada yada yada. But movement, and obviously you're on a hex, and actions work differently. So, instead of moving anywhere you want, you can move, your ship can move up to six hexes in a straight line, and you can turn twice. And by turn, I mean turn on a hexagonal front, like from there to there, and so on. Obviously, because in a ship, you cannot simply turn like you can in real life.
Does a turn take up a movement in hex?
No. So a turn is its own sort of separate thing. So you can, so say for example, you can move 3 hexes that way, and then turn, and then 3 hexes that way. That's sort of how this works. There are ship actions you can do to either get extra turns or extra movement, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now, ship actions. So your actual turn on a ship is very different. Is somewhat different to your turn in regular combat. In that it's not like movement, action, bonus action. It's movement, and then however many actions, or ship actions, you have. You'll see on the Dragon's Revenge sheet, which I think I've made available for everyone to see. If I haven't, let me know, and I'll. I don't think I have. So in players' journals, I'll go to all players, and then edited and controlled by all players. So as you can see, down the sort of side, there are like ship action captain, ship action pilot, ship action lookout, all that sort of stuff. Right? Your ship, a sloop with your size crew, has 2 actions it can take per turn. That can be attacking, and your ship action captain. That can be attacking with your cannons and attacking with your ballista. That can be attacking with your cannons and using the lookout, or the sort of somewhat equivalent of dashing or an extra turn, or whatever the hell you want to do with those actions. I've listed a lot of them down the side there. That is basically the basics of it without getting too much into ship combat. Because your ship is weatherly, you are a sloop ship, so you do not have the effects of the wind. You are a very, very quick and very, very sleek ship, therefore you do not have the adverse effects of the wind. For this combat, we will not be counting wind, as they are also sloop ships, they do the exact same thing. All damage is rounded down by 10, and every round is technically around a minute. So, during that time, if anyone wanted to do any actions they wanted to do, I'm more than fine to say, yeah, you can do that. So, for example, Griffin, if you wanted to fling off a fireball at the enemy as they got close, fine, sure, you can do that. You can do that 10 times if you really want to.
Do not have the spell slots for that, but thank you for permission.
Yeah, but obviously, remember, it's all damage rounded down, well, not rounded down, divided by 10. So if you dealt 30 damage, that's actually 3 damage.
The boat would be on fire.
Yeah, so their boat would be on fire, and it might have other effects. So the Dragon's Revenge current hit points is 33. It's actually 330. Your cannons deal 1d10 damage. It's actually like 1d100 damage. You get the and I guess it's probably better and easier to do this if we just dive in the deep end and get to it. So, would you like to roll initiative?
Good pun.
Oh yeah, I made a pun, didn't I? Would you like to roll initiative?
Actually, that's alright, given you don't have a modifier.
I'll say in terms of you guys doing stuff on the ship, we won't really roll initiative for that. We'll only roll like combat initiative if you guys end up boarding. We'll come to that in a minute as well.
Luke's fuming, he just rolled a 19.
So, Dragon's Revenge initiative is 14. And is 13. So you do go first.
Okay.
What is it you would like to do? Obviously, this isn't necessarily just obviously like none of us are master tacticians, so you can all put in your input. Unfortunately, obviously, there is only one Dragon's Revenge, so difficult for everyone to necessarily get included. In terms of boarding stuff, so obviously, yeah, you can board a ship as long as you get them to 0 HP beforehand. You can ride up next to it, board the ship, take the ship as your own, do whatever the fuck you want with the ship.
More trading fleet.
Obviously, you don't have the crew to take another ship as your own.
Not yet.
And these are kind of crappy sloops run by the Sahwajin and stuff like that. And obviously, you will have to fight. And it's not like Assassin's Creed Black Flag where everything around you just pauses while you take
I was going to ask you.
No. Things will still happen. Enemy ships will loom closer, fire cannons at your ship, and things like that. Potentially go on the other side of your ship and board from the other side. So now you're not just facing one ship, you're facing 2, or 3, or 4, or whatever. Keep that in mind.
Oramis.
Yes.
It is your first.
I do not want to tell a captain what to do on his own ship. However, I think the worst possible scenario here is that they flank us either side and just pepper us with everything they've got. So I think you maybe want to stick close to the island and just keep one of our sides to the island.
And
then we can try and deal with anything.
My thought was to try and manoeuvre around this island over here. And then
once we've got... Oh, go on.
I figure that way, then it kind of puts one of the ships at a slight disadvantage. Because they've kind of got to cut across the other one.
You also should now be able to move the ship. By the way, I forgot to do that before.
And then once we get one down, we can approach the other one, although we've got to get it to 0 HP anyway, so... Does it have to be at 0 HP, or can we ram it? And on a successful ram, we can board.
I think I'm going to say...
I mean, we have an
attack.
Obviously, like ramming it also would mean then, like, boarding a ship is a it's not just as easy as like jumping onto the other ship. Obviously, you
not watch Pirates of the Caribbean, Ben?
Attach a bunch of grapples to it and things like that, and get up and sort of get yourself in a good position for that sort of thing. Be aware the ram does deal a bit of damage to you if the ship fails to save. Not as much damage as you deal to them, but because you don't actually have a ram on your ship, that is just you smashing your ship into the other one.
We have ballistas, which make a hole in the ship's hull.
And
what's the range on
that?
What's the range on all?
The ship action.
Easier the attacks. The cannons as well.
Yes.
What's the range, Ben?
So the range could be, if you look... Oh, did I not put it in? Crap. Well, the cannons have a range of 6 hexes. The ballistas have a range of 4 hexes.
Okay. Is the ballista on the front?
The ballista is on the front, but it can fire anywhere in front of the ship, left, right, or front.
Okay, and then cannons are one on each side, I'm guessing?
One side or the other side.
Okay.
The bigger the ship, aka the more decks of cannons you have, the more you'll essentially get multi-attack or extra attack for your ship. So when you take the ship action cannons, you'll be able to attack twice, because obviously first row, second row, sort of thing.
Okay.
So be aware of that when going up against big ships.
So what do we think?
Ta-da!
Boom.
I think we head for this left island.
So I think if we go...
Yeah, I like that.
One, two.
I think in this instance it's probably better if they had rolled first, because then we can see the way they move and counteract it.
Yeah.
Sort of meet in the middle, but... Yeah.
1, 2,
3, 4,
3.
5,
So you've got 6 hexes of movement, haven't you?
Yeah.
And you get one little turn per go.
You see where I've moved?
You get two turns per go.
Oh, okay. 2 little
Should
turns.
we, should we take it in turns moving the ship?
I don't mind you controlling it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's fine. As long as we agree what we're doing, and well, you're still the captain.
Well,
I refuse to call him captain.
Look at me. I'm the captain.
I'm trying to figure out a sort of somewhat better way of sort of including all of you guys, so that would sort of involve you guys, rolling ship actions, which at the end of the day is you guys just rolling some dice on behalf of the ship, which could be kind of interesting either way. But yes, so you've moved there. Would you like to do anything else? You just got a turn, I think. Well, so you started from there, so you went 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 3 up, 3 down.
1, 2, 3. You can take a ship action to do the equivalent of a dash, which is half your movement speed again.
Using Assassin's Creed logic, they can't see us right now, so if we wait here for a sec, they might forget we're here.
Well, I was going to say, I think it might be better if we actually didn't dash on this turn and let them try and manoeuvre, and then we can see where they go.
But yeah, generally, they can't see where we are. They don't know if we're going to be going left or right, so they could make other choices.
Can we hold an action?
I'll say yes. Your ship can hold an action to...
Going to slingshot the boat out with their held dash action.
For example, you can hold an action to fire your cannons, for example.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They came in.
Yeah, should we do that?
I'd say hold a ballista here then. Hold a ballista, yeah. Because the cannons aren't aiming at the right direction.
Do the cannons have to fire at 90 degrees to the ship?
It's not necessarily 90 degrees, but anywhere sort of that side of the ship. So if you imagine a sort of...
Okay.
It's a bit awkward, but... Okay, so if I turn the ship this way... So for example,
it's always through those 2 hexes.
These
straight. All the 2 hexes.
And then these 3. And then, from there. So, 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, then 6.
Yeah, you got your little cone. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that is the sort of range of your cannons. Okay, so if that's your entire turn,
what is the range? What is the scale of the map?
The scale of the map is, I think, when reading it, it's 50 feet per hex.
Okay.
Yes, I think I'm remembering that correctly. So technically, someone could have dimension doored onto their ship if they wanted to, and just cause havoc. But none of you have dimension door. They are.
That's a bold play.
That is a bold play.
Be right back, chaps.
Come on.
Well, if you had
Damn.
two level spells,
That's too
mention
bold, I think,
you're on
Felix.
there, throw a fireball, throw another fireball, you're out.
Yeah, I really don't think I'm ever going to do this, but I've got 600 feet of my arrows. I can.
That's a very good point.
What would I have to roll if it was right on the edge of my distance, and both ships are moving in the waves?
I'd say you would have
Just
to
to try and hit. I know the guy at the helm.
general dexterity check. So I'd say like you have to roll to hit. Actually, no. I'd say it would just be a general dexterity check without proficiency, because that's extremely far and the waves are rocking you and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I have to roll pretty high then.
Yeah.
He's still using his bow. So he's still got push.
Yeah, no, actually, so I still I would just say roll to hit.
Guess, but it is. I mean, in my opinion, the logical thing to do would be buff AC for the light with cover because of the ship. Maybe.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Anyway,
about subtracting from Mazzy's rolls as well.
Yeah, that's a good one. Their turn. So they are, like I said, not as big as your ship and not necessarily as well equipped. So they don't have 6 movement speed. They have 5. They only have 1, 2, 3. Turn. 1.
Ballista.
2.
Boom.
Unfortunately, I think that's out of that you can't quite see them with your ballista. From that angle, I'm afraid. However, this one is going to go turn 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn 5, I guess. It's going to have to go there and then turn his next turn. This one will take a shot at your ship. You have half cover, but it will take a shot. That is a 6 to hit with its own large crossbows. This one can do nothing. Your turn once more. Is there anything anyone would like to do just in general?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I assume the boats are made of wood.
Yes.
If I fire a ballistic arrow, objects made of wood or stone are destroyed upon impact.
I would say you would. It would be a critical hit.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I could fire it like at the base of the boat to try and make a hole.
You could do. Remember, all damage is divided by 10. But you're and they might.
I mean, I'm just making a hole. It could sink under time. It could be a
exactly. And they could. They would. I would possibly say, depending on the amount of damage and the hit itself, would have to make a check against sort of taking on some water.
Would it be like they're getting poisoned each round? They lose.
Something like that. So if you want, you can roll to hit with that.
I think I won't do it yet, but I think that's good to know.
Okay. Oramis, it is your turn. Well, ship.
What do people think?
I think we need to pick a side. If we stay still, we're going to get pinted.
Yeah, I personally think we should push up here.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's the way the boat's
around, yeah.
But do we have enough movement for that? Because that would require 2 turns or just 1. Can we go into this?
Yeah. I'd say you can. Yeah, I could say. Yeah,
so that's our turn, and then we can go like that.
Yeah.
We get another turn.
You do get another turn. So if you wanted to, you could turn again, go right up in their face.
Unload.
I think it's better to go there and turn.
I agree with that. And then it's further away for the other boat, maybe. I don't know.
What do you think?
I think it's better to be a bit further away. Is there like a range drop off, or will we get a penalty for firing? Obviously, point blank range, most of the cannonballs would hit, but the further away we are, more.
I think it's probably going to be a case where if you're on point blank range, you roll with advantage, and I don't know about a sort of far distance that I haven't figured out. The rule set I'm using, as you guys might have seen on the Discord, I picked the rule set that's the simplest to run, so that obviously this doesn't drag out a lot of different stuff, and it's not a lot for like everyone to learn for a thing that we might,
Oh
really do all the
boy!
time. But yes, that will definitely hit. Roll damage.
Who wants to do the honours?
What is it?
Okay. Wait,
sorry, I didn't see that.
Lovely.
But I'll do.
10 damage. Very, very nice.
I think you mean 100.
That is max damage. Yes, that is technically 100 damage. Very nicely done.
Good roll, my dude.
Is that the highest damage anyone's ever done in one attack?
That's rolling a d8 then.
That is rolling a d8.
28 plus 2.
For a d10.
I did. I was mistaken because they were a 1d10 and I scaled them down. When I came up with ship rules myself, they were a 1d10 and then I scaled them down when looking at these new rules.
So Luke, where were we here?
You were, yes.
Yes.
Turn
Okay,
once,
so we've gone
up.
1,
up.
2,
And again.
3. So does turning use a movement
Turning
point?
is its own thing. So you have 2
Okay,
turns.
Turned 5, 1, 2, 3. I think we keep moving past the ship so that they can't get shot back off. They've got to manoeuvre around to try and hit us.
Let's go. We can get to this square, I think.
I think so. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could go one more if you want.
I'm guessing if cannons are going off, that we're all aware of what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
If you weren't, you bloody well are now.
Cannons have been fired, and people have been calling, like, that they've seen another ship around the boat. Felix, even like under the, in the ship, you've heard all the crew suddenly rushing around. Everything is suddenly just happening in full swing.
Okay. So I've got that on deck. I've got 120 foot of range with firebolt. Can I use that?
Oh.
You can, yeah. Roll for firebolt. I think it also says that obviously firebolt sets things on fire. So I will say an 11, however, does not hit.
Oh.
As you
Can I see him doing that and also remember that I have it?
Pardon, sorry?
Can I watch Felix do that and then suddenly remember that I can also do that and join him?
Yeah, go for it. It is like a time. So.
I'll do exactly the same thing he did.
Oh my god.
Mine's in the air and it looks like it's going to hit, and he's like, yes, I'll follow that trajectory.
Perfect range.
Yeah. However, obviously,
what are you doing?
You've sort of forgotten that obviously it is a bolt of just fire, so it is still somewhat affected by the wind, and you didn't quite realize until now that you've never fired a firebolt this far, and therefore, it's affected by the wind. It's affected by all this stuff, and so it before it sort of gets there, the wind does sort of carry it. Griffin, like you said, you get there and this firebolt's sort of soaring through the air, and you're like, oh yeah, and you fire at the sort of same trajectory as, almost exactly the same trajectory as Felix before your firebolt just sort of fizzles, and sort of as it hits the water, you can just anything else?
For this sort of range.
Anything else anyone would like to do?
As they both failed, I think I'll step up with my seismic arrow.
Alright.
I hope you roll so poorly.
I really hope I don't. But I'm not trying to hit any particular person. That would be way too difficult.
Yeah. Just trying to hit.
So aim to
2 and 3 between us.
Somewhere near the base of the boat.
Looking at that, and I thought so it's only right if Matt gets a 4, really.
I got a 4 just with a 1.
14.
I got a 5.
Oh crap! What's the AC of your ship?
12.
Then yeah, it hits.
Oh,
JJ.
how the hell do we do damage? I've
We were
forgotten.
so close.
So
I need to go back to machine.
I mean, I don't think the damage of an arrow is actually going to do any damage. That's just sort of bink into the side. But it's 4d6.
48.
48. Roll 48 for me. Their ship gets to make a con save against it. but it's a freaking ship, so it can't necessarily do anything. That is technically a crit.
It should be because I'm on an object, so the weak objects made of wood are destroyed upon impact. So it should technically just damage the wood.
Yeah. So roll 4d8 again.
Roll better. Yeah.
22. So overall, that is 34 damage. That therefore being 3 damage.
Is that then 3 damage each round, unless they do something to fix the hole or something?
That will be a certain amount of damage per thing, and I'm going to say that they're going to have to spend a ship action to repair themselves, so they can't. Cool. Yeah, so that's.
So they can't move.
Yeah.
Basically, I got them grappled for a round.
Yeah, basically. 7. Boom. It now is their go, and they're going to try and fire upon you. This one using its ship action to turn itself. So one's facing that way, and that faces that way. It is going to fire upon you with its blisters. That is a 15 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Coolio. That is 5 piercing damage.
Oh boy.
And it's going to move just sort of up here and start to sort of slalom around you.
Can I,
this one?
before you move this ship then, I don't know what you've got in mind.
Yeah.
Can I just make the argument that it would be extremely costly in terms of time to do an immediate about face for that ship?
Oh yeah, I'd assume that it can only turn in the 3 hexes in front of it. And then it has to go into one of the 3 in front of it, and then one of the 3 in front of it as it turns.
Well, this is the sort of weird thing where you have to, it's realism is somewhat skewed in this.
What?
For the sake of...
no realism in D&D?
I thought that's a really good way to say it is real. Like.
However, yes, I was going to say it can't just sort of suddenly snap itself up there.
These are also ships that have just come out from under the sea.
Different. It's going to use a ship action to take another turn like that. So it's now moved 3 times, and it goes. And I think 1, 2, 3. 4,
basically, we can slalom our way past them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, you're just out of range. 2, 3, 4, 5.
I may be wondering if we do just make a beeline for the cave.
Yeah. So
it might be difficult to get out after.
Fit in there. You are.
They're only here on Hallowhand's orders.
This is true.
If we kill him, come out and say it's done, I think they'll go.
Maybe. It is now your turn.
I possibly agree, but if that isn't the case, it could be very difficult to win this battle.
What are we taking now? Just 5 damage.
Yeah, 5 out of 33, so we're on 28.
If they start both unloading on us, I think we're going to feel it.
In this instance, I'd say we have to keep far away. If we were still to fight, I'd say try and turn left round and just fight this one ship on the left, or we go for the cave.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I think we go straight for the cave myself, but if it came to a boat, that's what I'd vote for.
Yeah, I couldn't get a very good thing of this. Like, your ship can't fit in the cave. There's rubble and stuff all outside. Those are just the 2 towers on the front.
We fight.
So
that answers that question then, I think.
Sorry.
I think we
turn on the docks and 2 ships out at sea.
Pardon?
I don't think we want to get pinched between the docks and 2 ships.
Yeah, exactly.
Because also, if we dock up
if we could have gone in,
that'd
have been alright. But
and then we're stuck.
I reckon try and turn around to the left and keep attacking.
Do this one. Okay. Hopefully, maybe Felix and I can actually hit our fireballs this time.
So if we do a... Oh, hang on. We were facing this way, no? What do we think?
We're facing the way. Yeah, I think we
so we
have
have to go.
Matt said.
Yeah.
Do that. Turn that.
And get a cannon shot off.
Yeah.
Give him a broadside.
Give him a broadside. Roll to hit.
Who wants to roll?
I'm rolling a firebolt, so.
I don't mind doing it if you want.
Yeah.
Griffing a firebolt does in fact hit this time.
16.
16 damage. I'm going to say round up, so that's technically 2 damage.
Huzzah!
2.
Huzzah. Cannon.
Oh, Jojo, these firebolt rolls are a bit to be desired, aren't they?
Felix does the 22 damage.
22 on 3d10 I'll take.
Yeah, 22 on 3d10,
Like,
that is
I'm
not
not really
bad.
expecting this to do more than like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Like I'm expecting this to do like an average of 1. We're just like I'm picturing this as like burning holes in their sails as this thing just whips through.
Yeah.
Just to
But obviously
just
it does
to try
say
and disable them a little bit.
Yeah, it also does sort of thing in the description of Firebolt that it does set things on fire, so it's also not necessarily the physical damage, but the thing of now some of their crew are, instead of having to take care of the ship and sort of get rid of water and things like that, they're having to put out fires and all that other stuff. 22 on cannons does hit, that is 7 damage. And as you've fired this volley of cannons off, as well as these 2 sort of firebolts, the ship was already beginning to take on water sort of on its front, and it was sort of starting to lean, giving you just a very clear view of the hull, and these cannonballs just wreck right through.
I think in sailing, Ben, it's actually referred to as listing.
Hmm? Oh, whatever.
He's done his research, this dude.
But this ship
does.
A lightning bolt hits the ship.
This ship does go to 0 HP. As it gets absolutely battered. It is now sinking. You can board it if you want to. Or
how long do you think it would take to board?
Boarding it?
Pardon, sir? Who do what?
Well, I'm saying how long do you think it would take to board? Because I think it's 2 rounds for that other ship to get close to us.
It would be your ship action to board.
Yeah, I don't think it's worth it.
There's no incentive to board either. Yeah.
Do the combat, and then how long the combat takes. You know, say it took
pirates looting. That's the incentive.
Yeah. They would then sort of get their turn and do stuff like that. It's definitely taking on water, looking like it's not going to recover from anything like that.
I think
we've still got movement left, haven't we?
You still have movement.
Haven't moved at all. Yeah.
Oh, but where do we go? So we've only got 1 more turn.
Back around the island.
Yeah. I think we're already
they can't
left,
get
so we
to
need to
us.
go back round that way.
So we turn like that.
Yeah.
We can go where?
We don't want him to get a shot off.
Are we going to ram them?
Well, no, this is the point. We've only got 1 turn, so we can only face that direction effectively. Is my understanding. But
then I think we've only got 1 turn. Maybe just don't use that. Don't use it yet because we're already facing one direction. Go up to.
Good point. Go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that. Yeah.
Can I use the captain's bonus thing, or have we used our actions?
No. So you've obviously fired your ship, which is 1 ship action, and then so you can use the captain's thing.
So what does that actually entail? Let me just try to read through it.
It gives your crew a bonus. So essentially, just gives you a bonus on rolls if you roll a persuasion or intimidation check.
Okay, I'm not going to use that. I think we just stay here, maybe, people.
Yeah, fine.
That's good. I don't think they'll be able to get to us.
Cool.
So they have to shoot through their own ship. Their own friends who are drowning, so I don't think they will do that.
2. 1, 2, 3. You're within range of their ballista, so they are able to fire off a shot. You will get half cover, firing essentially over their own ship. So they've I'll probably say they're roll with disadvantage actually because it's
these guys do not give work.
14. Unfortunately, with disadvantage.
Oh boy.
So that will be. That is 4 piercing damage. As these sort of like, essentially like quite thick spears with like spiraled sort of spearheads, just like 1 or 2 of them just slam into the side of the ship, and one of them almost pierces straight through the mast. Mast is still up, and it's fine. Just heads right there. Frank's just like, oh, fuck. And you can hear, even though one of their ships is like now sinking, you can hear and see all the way over there, like these submarines are still like, you know, they're like, the thing very Tuscan Raider style. It is your turn. What do you
I think we should take a little brief break there because I really need the loo.
All right, it is also 9 o'clock, so yeah, we'll take a little break.
Has Oramis just come out with a tray of rum? Lots of shots of rum. Drink up
I assume with those clicking, we are now back. We're just going to go anyway. So, Oramis, it is your turn. Well, Dragon's Revenge, it is your turn. What would you like to do? You have taken down one ship. It is sinking horribly. But you have taken a little bit of damage.
Okay. What do we
If we turn, we can get a cannon shot off, but they're going to have the same cover we got, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can
Should we do that?
Shot off between, while we travel between the ship and the island. Just that gap. If we go through the gap between the ship and the island, are we going to get a shot away there?
We can get a shot away as soon as we turn. Oh,
yeah, but then that's going to be on with cover.
Turn like that.
I don't think.
I'm saying,
what did it add last time?
Half cover.
Yeah.
Which is what, 2?
Yes.
Okay, right. I think +2 on an AC. That makes it 14. We got a +5 modifier.
I think it's worth a shot.
And then
Yeah.
try and use the island as cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Do it, Luke.
I shall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh fuck.
Hi, son.
Unfortunately, you miss. And
The
a lot
sinking
of your
ship
cannons
takes a
are-
full broadside.
I was going to say, yeah, a lot of your shots either go slightly too far left, slightly too far right, or straight into the already sinking hull of this ship, making it just sink faster and faster and faster.
Good. Fuck those guys.
Darby's already dead.
You can see from this ship, sort of as it's taken on water, now that it's taken on a full broadside, a lot of them, like this killed a lot of like suffragine on the ship's deck.
You just
Like what was left, and there's like maybe now like 2 or 3 left, and they just dive deep into the water.
you just see one walking down a set of steps with a big hat on, just saying, it's just good business.
Anything else?
Oh, we do have
you'd like to do?
movement
You
going,
do
so
have a ballista, which you would be able to get a shot off on against these guys. They would start.
Someone else
What
apart
about
from
both from one
Nick,
round?
Yeah, someone else.
11, unfortunately, also misses.
Get in
Let's
the
shot.
sea.
Just a little
Wincy.
bit just too high, and you can just hear the splash as it hits well below.
move us on.
Aye, Captain. Oh wait, that's me. Huh.
Ah, yes,
Hey.
it has happened.
3, 4, 5. That's our full movement.
Cool.
I think
Well,
if we're being real, Luke, Oramis knows who the real daddy is.
So,
Sorry.
these guys are then going to go 1, 2, 3,
4,
Four,
5. Once I caught
5,
a fish alive. 6, 7.
and get off a bit of a broadside of their own. Try and-
I'm not asking for cover for the fact that we're near the island, but because they're right, they've only got the back of our ship.
They are shooting us in the butt.
They are shooting you in the butt, but I feel like that just really complicates things, because then it's like, well, if they're shooting like a full broadside compared to you on diagonal compared to you on like not a diagonal, it's just
That's fair enough.
Like at that point it just gets like very, very complicated.
I don't see the problem.
If we did this again, I think that should be something we consider, because you are aiming at less of a target. But we'll keep it simple for this.
No, it is. It
Yeah,
is
that's
less
fine.
of a target. Maybe there is a sort of thing where it's like, almost as if like wielding a shield. So if you're straight on at someone and they're firing, you get like +2 to your AC or something like that. Fuck it. That's not a terrible idea. We're going to do that. Either way, they rolled 19, so they hit anyway.
No.
I'm very, very sorry. And your ship, unfortunately, takes another 4 piercing damage as this scream spin through the air with a spiral sort of points slam into the side of your ship. Like the rear of your ship back. I think that was all their movement. They were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, they've got another movement, so they're going to go 6. like that, just to sort of begin to give chase. Your turn.
Ooh. Going to give chase.
Keep going around the island, or we are a bit far.
As it's just one, I think we could turn and actually have a fight here.
Okay.
We're not going to get pincered now, so.
If we can turn enough to get a broadside off. And a blister.
That's 2.
So we could broadside now?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll to hit.
Matt, you do it. I think you've hit.
Oh, Matt.
Alrighty then.
Give us a big boy.
Cannons or ballista? Cannons, yeah? Cannons.
Cannon
Do both.
now.
Do both. Oh my god.
Are you sure?
Cannon fire sinks way too short. Them being such a sort of strange angle, and obviously the sharp turn moved all the cannons just very, very slightly, misaligning them. Anything else? You have another. The ballista, however, does in fact find its mark.
Oh no, I did.
You're gonna roll the damage for that.
Yes.
With advantage.
Seeing the cannons fail, Mazzy's going to fire another one of his special arrows.
Special arrow, go for it.
We need to get the right sheet up. That's a bit better.
The very end of your range, but yeah, the 27 I'll definitely allow it. 27 at disadvantage.
Yeah, boy.
Like that's bonkers.
There's less waves when you're closer to the island, so I was more steady.
4d8. Well, actually, you just roll 8d8, or just roll that again. Oh, that is not bad. That is
Nice.
30. I can do math. 6, which, when rounding up,
4.
4 damage, which
A
is
mighty
very, very
4.
a mighty 4, a particularly mighty and meaty 4, as this
These are magic arrows, right?
ripple across the waves, and
Seismic.
again,
The
physically like rocks
a loud explode or bang is heard 300 meters everywhere.
Beautiful.
So
yeah, very, very nicely done. Is there anything else?
again, aiming at the hole, trying to sink it.
Is there anything anyone would like to do?
Fire?
Is there? I don't see. There's not loads of point in moving too much. Oh, yeah, they're going to get us in range no matter what we do.
How much movement?
Yeah, they're going to get us in range.
We've used 2.
So we could turn back to the left. So we're going south.
Oh, are we doing Ben's? What Ben said, the new, so you can turn whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, do that. Yeah, do that then.
If you're facing directly sort of away from where they are pointed, I'll say you have +2 to AC. There we go.
If we use 1 to turn south.
Oh, sorry, Ben. I meant so we can turn as much as we want because we've already turned 2. But are we just doing?
Yeah.
What you said. Okay, cool.
And then that is
We're just handbrake turning. All right.
Very much.
If we got left Oramis, if we just moved straight down.
4.
So we could move 4 straight down.
1, 2, 3. I just got to zoom out. 4.
Alright,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Try and get up beside you. You're within their range, and I'll say it's on a diagonal. It's not directly sort of thing. They won't roll modifiers. That is, however, a 10 to hit, which I'm assuming doesn't. These spear-sized arrows are sort of squashing all around the ship. And they will use their other action that they've got. They don't have any other weapons, but they have to use their other action they've got to try and staunch the wounds of the ship that Mazzarious has inflicted. And they roll a 5, so I'll say they'll take another point of damage as they are sinking. And I feel like they probably should have rolled that hit with disadvantage because they're sinking, or maybe with some kind of modifier difference, but whatever. I'll figure that out later. Your turn again.
So I reckon
Go and ram.
I reckon we drop anchor and handbrake turn round.
Yeah.
And shoot a cannon load in their face.
You want a ram?
We'll cut the chain on the anchor when we're halfway through the handbrake turn.
We have got the movement.
How do you have a fully functioning ship?
Mazzy just rolls out a rack of spare anchors, having done this maneuver before, ready to attach the next one.
You see, if we had Doc's bag of holding, we would cut an anchor.
In there. I
don't know how big.
No, an anchor's too big to fit in there.
What size of the anchor?
Can we
ballista and then ram?
Yeah. So can we like there? Ballista, JJ, you fire it. I feel like.
I think actually a ram costs all of our points. Looking at it, but it's up to Ben.
What have I said on the ship? Because as far as I'm aware,
sorry, I'm reading the actual thing, not what you said.
Weapon ram. Yes, I think on the thing a ram actually costs all of your
points.
Things, but I would argue that it's just an action because it's just one of your ship actions.
Fire everything!
How are we getting in range to ram them? Because we kind of have to make like several turns, so we can lose a lot of movement.
Well, yeah. So we used 2 squares to turn around.
Yeah.
Getting up to there leaves us with 6.
So we were here, right?
No, getting up to here. Yeah, here. So 1, 2, effectively to turn. 3, 4, 5.
We can just get there.
6. Whichever way we do it, we have enough to ram them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just trust the process.
Also
adds the amount of hexes that you've travelled to the damage of the ram.
Yeah.
So every 1 hex you move does an extra 1 damage on top.
So hang on, I've missed Ben's decision. Is a ram 1 or 2?
Ram is 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna say a ram.
Fire ballista. Fuck this ballista.
We need to practice with this thing.
Whoa.
Get on that.
It's the first time as a crew, you know.
Your crew sucks.
Yes.
And are you moving then to ram?
Yes.
Cool. So place your ship in the position to ram. Roll.
I would question how the ram would miss if we roll.
It's not necessarily how the ram would miss, but it's about how you guys have manoeuvred yourself in position to actually inflict damage rather than just sort of. Oh yeah, it's a strength save, and it's not actually a thing. I know the rules. Can you guys also can someone make a con save for the ship? As you don't have a physical ram yet, so you are literally smashing your ship into theirs. Potentially doing damage to your ship as well.
That doesn't count. That doesn't count. He's not the captain. He is not the captain.
It's half damage to you, so you take
That's fine.
4 damage.
Cheap. That's cheap.
We'll take the full brunt of the 9, and I can't select that shit. I have to move you guys a second so that I can.
What's the deal? What's the deal with the +5? Is that +5 to hit?
Yes. On what? On the ram?
Yeah, because we move 5 squares.
It's in a straight line.
5 hexes.
However many squares in a straight line. That's you guys building up speed.
Boo.
If we just did a little serpentine into it, we'd get +5.
However, you just got to maximise that distance.
However,
slingshot, you know,
is in
fly close to the planet, around it, and then slingshot.
Oh, you are in the wrong area, my friend. You're in the wrong area.
Yeah, no. They fail the save.
Okay, good.
9 damage is enough. And their ship will undo that, but their ship beginning to sink. Are you going to board any of these ships, or are you just?
I feel like I want to, just to.
Yeah, I kind of want to. I want to board it. I want to nick their stuff. I want to,
Yeah.
I want to fight.
All right. So seeing as you're already rammed up to them, on their turn they can't do anything. So you then spend your next turn ship action to board, as they say, and would everyone? I know these little things. I recently got a pack online for like sea monsters and stuff, and it's the same guy who did all the designs for like a lot of the maps and stuff I've used. So yes, they don't look very threatening or terrifying.
It was that Ben coupled with Luke's boarding passes at the ready.
So would you guys like to place yourselves upon the Dragon's Revenge and roll some initiative? Because you are boarding them, I think I put way too many bad guys on here.
This is a really small ship.
How bloody rude.
I meant more that we're massive tokens, Luke, but...
I see.
So place yourselves wherever you guys would like to be placed, and then we'll do a quick initiative, and we'll hopefully get this done and dusted. This session.
I'm just doing them right in the middle.
Ryan Session.
Got their initiative as well. Okay. Alrighty.
Ah, shit. Jojo, do you want to roll?
You can go first.
Ah, cheers.
Do you want to roll initiative, Oramis?
Oui, senor. Initiative.
Oh, shit.
Oh, alright.
Got the old sea legs.
You're very good on the
by
boat.
example.
Oramis!
You're not very good anywhere else, but you're good on the boat.
Roll me a
Ben-
D6. Actually, no, you have
Ben
like
gives me a
+6 initiative.
secret. Yeah, Ben gives me a secret plus bonus to when I'm on the ship as well. No one knows about it. He doesn't even know about it. But I get a little bonus when I'm on the ship.
Except we all now know about it.
Cool. So, Oramis, you are first up. Your ship is now sort of readying the ship. Your crew is readying the ship for boarding and things like that. Generally, firing stuff, shooting stuff, all that sort of thing. Fighting the potential other enemies on their ship that you can't quite that I've put on the map. What would you like to do?
Can we like jump across onto their ship?
Yeah. I'd say roll an athletics or acrobatics check to leap across onto their ship. Just in case
You're going in the drink, right?
Low roll. But
What did you say? Acrobatics or athletics?
acrobatics or athletics, yes. 25, easy. I'll say it still uses up movement, so it still would use up like 15 feet of movement to do all that. To like leap across, land, vault sort of over the banister of their ship. But you are now there. What would you like to do?
I would like to attack Brucey here in the red.
Yes.
An Eldritch Blast. Gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh. Don't tell me that doesn't hit, Ben.
No,
I need to change that one.
No, that does hit.
Good.
That is 9 damage. These guys look fairly feeble. They're obviously not necessarily warriors. They are the sailor versions of these suffragines. So they're not wearing as much armor. They, look a little more sort of feeble, I guess. I can't say it enough times. Yes, that hits. That did a fair bit of damage. Would you like to fire again?
I would love to. I'm trying to think of a witty fish-based pun that I can add to the Eldritch Blast comment, but I'll fire again. That's naff.
That's what you get for your puns, Luke.
The ship.
Get a third one, don't I?
You do get a third one.
Huzzah!
Huzzah, that one does hit with 7 damage. Nicely done. And as this second bolt fires into the chest of this suffragine. He falls, depleted and dead. Congrats. Let me just find these and these. Is that everything on your turn?
We.
Excellent. So, immediately, the captain of this ship, a suffragine with 4 arms, which is a little strange. 2 much larger ones, and then 2 sort of slightly more nimble and shorter ones. A bit taller than the others, although you can probably tell that he is not necessarily the largest of his kind by any means. Steps forward towards you, as well as this guy steps out and proceeds to... What has he got for range? That's a very, very good point. For range, they have nothing.
Good.
So never mind, you want 2 for anything. But this guy will step up towards you and will get some attacks in. That was a d12 I rolled, not a d20. That's fine. And for his actual attack, he rolled a 1! Good thing he gets a couple more attacks. So that is a 11. Another fucking 1. This guy comes raging towards you. He's clearly a little bit like all this sort of cannon fire and everything on the ship has clearly got this guy rattled, and he just comes at you with the 2 worst attacks, which barely have to move you've seen in your life, and he sort of smashes himself up against the sort of banister of the ship. This guy here is going to attempt to cast, I think, a little bit of a spell. So, Oramis, can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
What spell is he? What kind of spell is it?
It is... I'm just checking that.
It's on a half elf, so...
that does not make any difference for this spell.
Fucking fantastic.
And you see him sort of stretch out a hand, shut his eyes for a brief moment, and just clench his fist, and suddenly you find yourself paralyzed, immediately immobilized by the spell. These 2 are going to be slightly more brave, and they're going to go 5, 10, leap.
Was that the first mate that did that to Oramis?
10, leap. It was this guy up there.
Okay, yeah. Well, what looks like the first mate.
Yeah. So these 2 are going to leap over. This one took 5, 10, 15, 20. You can just about move there. This guy can just about move there as well. Actually, if he moves there, he can attack Mazzy. So this one is going to attack Felix. That fell off the desk. That is 10 plus bloody 4. So 14 to hit. Felix.
14 misses.
14 misses. I think he gets another attack. Fight. That is a 22. Jumps and then hits. That will hit. So, 1d4 plus 2. That is 3 piercing damage as he charges at you. His first swing missing, but then he sort of combines his momentum from the miss, leaps forward at you with his mouth and bites at your forearm. This one goes towards you, Mazzy, and will take attacks. That is a natural 20. Finally, something goes my fucking way with these guys. Unfortunately, not your way. Sorry about that. And that will be... He's attacking with 2 hands. So that will be 2... Where's the 10?
It's a crit, you say?
It is a crit.
I'm going to invoke my Cloud Rune and make it target the guy in front of me instead.
Alright. So there's 2 10, that's 5 plus... 5 plus 2 damage, 7 damage, but then he rolled another 2d10. Yeah. Okay. So, Mazzy, this guy has sort of sprinted up to you, charging, and you haven't quite realised, you haven't turned in time, and this trident should have gone directly, like straight into your chest, all 3 piercings and all. But for whatever reason, you can't feel a single thing. But Felix, you just watch as the suffragine in front of you just topples backwards, falling off the ship.
Yeah.
That was, goddamn, that was kind of cool. He rolled really fucking high there as well. He rolled 2 10s.
What was the damage? What would I have had to take?
You would have taken 4d10 plus 2 damage. He rolled 2 of them were full 10s. But then like a 2 and a something else, I can't remember.
So it was about 30.
Yes. But he does get another bite attack against you. 18 plus 4, that's another 22, which I'm assuming hits. So that is 5 piercing damage. As this, he's very, very
would
confused.
do something, but my...
He just goes, ah!
Have I frozen?
Maybe.
No, your
I don't know.
face is still moving.
Because all my internet's frozen, but apparently not the camera.
Okay. That's very, very
I
weird.
should try and remember to take 5 damage off. And it's my go next, so I want to try and roll something, but I can't.
15. And I can do it for you. So don't worry. And this guy will roll at advantage against you, Oramis. But still can't fucking... Even though you're still and paralysed, you roll a 2 and a 4 for a fucking miss. I don't even know how one would go about explaining that, but there we go.
He didn't realise he was grappled?
There's just a
Yeah,
wet,
maybe-
wet
yeah,
slapping
I
noise.
guess he sort of
Dropped the sword. Sword fell out of his hand when he was trying to swing.
fake going for you, and then turned his trident a different way, and just missed. Oh, but he also gets his bite.
Oh, good.
Yeah, 15. 2 4. That's 6 plus 2. 8 damage. 8 piercing damage.
Paralyzed.
Eh?
Oramis is paralyzed, yes.
Hang on.
Correct.
What did he roll to hit?
He rolled
What did he roll to
a
hit?
14.
He rolled a 14.
Oh, your AC is much higher than 14.
Yeah, my AC is 16.
Yeah, fuck. Alright, never mind. He doesn't actually hit. You don't take any fucking damage.
So I'm paralysed, and he couldn't hit me with his trident, nor could he bite me.
Yeah.
This guy.
This
You're on the stairs. It's really difficult. All right, the boat's moving like this.
fucking guy. Mazzy, it is your turn next. Are you back? Or are you...
I said that's it.
Are you back? Are you able to...
I've just got the roll 20 loading symbols going everywhere.
Everywhere.
Well, on all my screens. There's
Fuck,
3 of them. I've got 3 things up. There's 3 of them.
Well,
Actually, we'll tell Ben what you're going to do because I think we all know
Yeah,
what
fair
you're going to do.
enough.
I think
well,
it's going to be
Dual
something to do
sword
with
out and
dual
attack the guy in
swords.
front of me.
dual sword, attack the guy in front of you. Alrighty, I will roll for you. See what you get. Oh god.
We all know how I usually roll, so if I roll in that one, I blame Ben.
No, it's a 15, which does hit.
Good.
Congratulations.
Good.
And I'm gonna roll the other one now because you can hit twice. There we go.
Yeah,
15 and
but-
24.
While I'm waiting on damage, would it be on him or not? I don't know,
he's
but
fucking dead.
Yeah,
just a 15 kill him.
this guy is fucking gone. That's 15 damage and 6 damage. Yeah, this guy's fucking gone. The first
Did he go from the first attack or the second attack?
he went from the second attack.
Okay, fine.
The first attack just swiping at his leg, almost taking it off completely, save for a small mangle of flesh. And then as he's falling down, just sink straight into the chest. Completely gone. Anything else you would like to do, Manny?
Because Oramis is out there by himself,
Oui.
and I know I can't obviously attack, I'm going to board.
Oui.
I think just jump over here and just sort of start shouting. I would ready action, but I don't have an action left.
That's fair.
So just try and distract them.
Fair enough. Yeah. Roll me a general either persuasion or intimidation. Up to you.
I think I got my sheet back, yeah. Right.
Felix, you are up next. Just for you to have a think.
Okay.
11. They're sort of looking at you like, okay, yeah, well, someone make sure to deal with that one, but right now, I've got this one in my grip. The sort of thing you can think. They're not speaking in any language I think any of you understand. This is a lot of just sort of... It's almost like someone's trying to speak in almost like Elven or something like that, but with mouthwash in their mouth.
I speak
really,
Elvish, I think.
like gargling. It's really weird.
Yeah, I speak Elvish, so I might get...
Yeah.
Did I sort of understand what they're saying?
Felix.
I'm gonna move over into the center here and hold an action to take a sword swipe at anything that jumps aboard.
Excellent. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Oh, did I have to roll
I've got
acrobatics
the
to jump
movement
and
to
jump ship?
so-
Oh yeah, roll a quick acrobatics check, Matthew. Or athletics, either or.
Okay.
And Griffin, have a think about what you would like to do. And next.
I'm waiting for Matt's natural one when he gets into the water.
You're fine. You're able to do it. That's no problem. Griffin, you're up.
I'm gonna hop over. So
Hop
athletics
over.
check.
Athletics.
I'm ready for the nat one.
I'm ready for it now.
I'm ready for the nat one. And you, heavy
shame.
just start sinking. You're fine. However, you
Would I get advantage with a paralysed Oramis? Or is that very optimistic asking?
I think rules as written, yes.
I would argue
thing.
Or this guy's very frustrated fighting
It's
Oramis.
very frustrated, and he's
It's very frustrating fighting
like,
Oramis.
Paralyzed guy right in front of him. Go for it. Roll to hit. If you are rolling.
Shit out. Yeah. Oh, that's dreadful.
10 and 12, unfortunately.
What are you playing at?
As you sort of clunk across.
Is that what you shouted when you jumped over?
Swing
What,
thing like
anyone for sushi?
And this guy is at first looking, but just sort of hearing the sort of clunking footsteps of like you running up behind him. He does manage to duck out the way. Are you taking another attack?
Where was that the first time round?
But yeah, that one will definitely hit. Roll the damage. 1 or 2?
One-handed.
One-handed.
Because I got my shield. And then... am I gonna do it?
Smite him.
Calamari.
Smitey, smite.
Yeah, I'm gonna smite him. Oh, is it? Open Gylndan's sheet. Right. Let's smite. Yeah, I'll use a first level spell slot for an extra 2d8.
For extra 2d8 damage. Roll 2d8. 8.
15.
Very nice. 15 does not kill him.
Oh, what?
So you do sort of... It's like, obviously, he ducks under the first attack, and then just with your momentum, you manage to turn around and just bring up your axe right into his jaw. His axe glowing with this sort of bright radiance as it cuts sort of straight through his jaw and his face. Pretty brutal, gory scene. There's sort of bile-like blood starts pouring out, but he is still up, sort of concussed and looking around a bit, but still up. We go back to the top of the round. Oramis, you are paralyzed. So all you can do is make a save, I think. Yeah.
Is it a whiz save? Yeah.
It is indeed a whiz save.
Wee.
Oh boy.
Very nice. You are no longer paralyzed.
Is that my
At the end of
action?
each of the target can, it's at the end of your turn. You can make a whiz save, so unfortunately, that is the end of your turn.
Well, that was fun.
The Sarragine is then going to... so this one is frustrated by the fact that you're now moving again, and it didn't get an opportunity to attack you while you were... And is going to have a crack at you for the natural 17, which I'm assuming hits with like +7 for that. So that is 1d10. 2d10. 11 plus 4, that's 15 piercing damage from his first attack. And his second attack, 5 plus 7, that's 12. His third attack is a 13. 19 plus 7, so that's an unnatural 20 with his bite, as this one trident attack plunges quite deep into you. Second one, you bat away with whatever you're holding, a dual bit probably, is a lot easier, and then he tries to lunge in for the bite. Do so. So that is... that's 2 1s and a 4. So, well, 2 1s plus 4. So that's 6 piercing damage from his bite. This one here is...
I don't suppose I can half one of them.
You can half one of them, yeah.
Which one can I half?
Either or. It's your reaction to half something, so...
what was the first one?
The first one was 15 damage, the second one was 6.
Yeah, I'm halving the 15.
Which one, I wonder which one you'll half. I choose one within range of ball lining. I guess another one. One landing on the choose one you see within range of ball lining. From the bad. Upon each creature of fire, most of attacks there is. Okay, cool. So, realizing his ship is already on fire, and that probably is going to be fine. He's actually not going to cast that, because that would be really stupid. But he is going to cast that again. Now, this time, Griffin, can you make me a wisdom saving throw?
With pleasure.
I actually also think, Oramis, you should have got a +4 on that 22, because you're within Griffin's aura.
Yeah.
Yeah, every paladin has a aura at 6
Oh
level.
my god, get in the bin. All these that ones. It's 6. I don't know if he's within my range, but it's quite short.
He's 10 feet.
It is 10 feet.
Yeah.
You are now, much like Oramis was, under the effects of hold person. You are paralyzed.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry to say, buddy. This guy is going to turn around and have a bit of justice back against you, I'm hoping. Oh wait, no. Advantage. 19!
Doesn't hit.
No, it doesn't hit. Okay, this guy, the first attack just sort of like dong off your armor. And then the second one with advantage is a natural 19 plus 4, 23. Yeah, that. Two-handed. Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. That will be 29 plus 4.
Oh, Jesus.
33 points of piercing damage. As that's 2d10, and you roll, but then a crit, because you're paralyzed. And I shit you not, he rolled a 10, a 9, a 10, a 1, and a 1.
Jesus.
I'm really sorry about that.
That's alright.
Fine. Wasn't. In a very weird way. Oh, and he gets to attack with his... But no, he doesn't, because that's the first thing he did. That's pretty much it. That's all they can do. So now we move on to Mazzy.
Is this guy doing all the...
He is doing all the magical shit.
Ah, well, I'm going to move up here. Just to make sure, whip out a hunter's mark.
Alright. Whip
And
out.
you?
Can you
Yeah,
say
boy.
Yeah.
overkill?
I'm just fed up with him putting my friends on the floor.
I just don't like his fucking
No, he should
face.
be dead now.
Just don't like the fucking yeah, damn, 20 damage. That is a big chunk of damage.
I don't have enough movement and I can't switch my swords. Can I throw my sword? Because
Can you
I want to make a
throw
second
your
attack.
double sword?
I can get to here. Can I throw my sword at him?
If you miss, it goes overboard and you never get it back.
No,
Okay.
no.
First of all, I'm going to say you can, but it has abysmal range and abysmal damage. And second of all, this guy's not dead.
Oh, I swear he was. Sorry, okay, I won't do that. I'll attack again then. That's quite easy. I thought he was down.
He is not down. He is still alive. And a 13 misses.
Oh, shit. Well,
does he have to make a con save for his
He
thing on
does
me?
have to make a con save for his thing on you, and he rolled a natural 17, I'm afraid.
Oh, yucky.
Yucky indeed. Is that everything, Mazzy?
Yeah.
Cool, Felix. Your friends have leaped aboard the next ship.
Just going to throw a little bit more fire on the fire. I'm going to go for the one in between Griffin and Oramis with a firebolt.
20 hits, roll the damage. Oh yeah, 15 fire damage. This guy, like, he wasn't even expecting you. If he's very honest, he couldn't see you over the banister. And you just sort of get this, like leap someone in your hands, throw it off like a baseball, smack,
Yes.
and his body just slides over the ship as it just rocks just backwards enough for his body to then, like, slide over the ship and then sort of crumple into the corner there. Very nicely done. Anything else you would like to do?
No, I'm going to stay where I am. I don't fancy jumping this gap on my tiny wee legs.
That is fair.
And that should be
Griffin,
out of
can you
trouble.
make me another wisdom saving throw?
Oh, it's just one of those days, isn't it?
It's just one of those days, I'm afraid. And you are still held. You cannot do anything. You are physically paralyzed. You're sort of stood with your axe and your shield. And even though the ship's rocking and you're, like, you don't even know how you're keeping balance with the rocking of the ship. The winds and the waves are slowly picking up throughout the
Have
day.
you got your saving throw set to automatically include your aura?
No, he does not. It doesn't look like it anyway from looking at his thing.
I can't remember
But
what
you
one of
can
them
do-
have proficiency in.
They have proficiency in
Wisdom.
wisdom and charisma.
Right.
And you get a +4 to every save that you make. So does everyone within a 10-foot range of you. Or, well, plus your charisma one. So it's... Which for you is +4. Anyway, Oramis.
So I'm guessing an 11 doesn't save either.
No.
I'm going to cast Gust of Wind.
No. Gust of Wind on who?
This
On
boy in
that-
front of me.
Point in front of you, line 60 feet long,
Oramis.
10 feet wide.
Why have I never got any spell slots? Oramis. I cast Gust of Wind on a single enemy.
Creatures start to turn the line must succeed in a strength saving throw, be pushed 15 feet away from you in a direction following the line. Right, what's his strength looking like? It's pretty good. He does have that,
You
so
can 3 targets.
17. He rolled a 16,
I only need to. He misses.
and therefore he's pushed.
I could hit 3 targets.
10.
Yeah,
And then
you,
he would
turned
probably
it
hit the
slightly more to the side.
But there's only 2 targets left, no?
I mean, he's risking getting me as well.
That is risking getting Mazzarious.
Yeah. No, it's
Also,
cool.
this thing,
It's cool. I carry on with
And
it.
I'm wearing
Can you
I didn't take my armor
roll
off, so if I go in the water, I might be fucked.
Can you roll me 1d6 for bludgeoning damage as it hits the side of the banister?
Does it not
here.
go over? Are you sure?
I'm going to make a dex save for it to see if it does
Okay.
go over or if it manages to catch itself. Never mind. Whoop. As it rolls,
Huzzah!
still roll the damage
As it's a
because
fish, he
these
can
are
just swim back
obviously-
on board.
Yes, he can.
I've,
He is a fish, and he is
I've done
so far undamaged.
No, he's taken 4.
No, okay, yeah, he's taken 4. So yeah, you summon this gust of wind, and he gets blown backwards. His bottom half slams against this banister, which like creaks and cracks under his weight, flips backwards, and ends up falling. And you can just as it falls.
That was
And you're moving up to that guy.
and I'm going to conceal blade.
Conceal blade.
with advantage. It doesn't really matter though.
That does hit with an 8 piercing damage.
Ah, yeah. And it's time for a sneak attack.
Oh! And Felix, you suddenly feel movement in yourself as you sort of slowly but surely regain.
Is it 46 or is it 5d6 now?
Paralysis. It's 46.
Cool. Well, he takes 23 damage.
He does take 23 damage.
In the back.
In the back. Anything else?
Stab the guy in the back. How do you feel?
Alright.
Very proud.
This guy is... He's looking. And he's looking rough. And he's not feeling very... Not feeling
Is
very
he feeling
happy.
dead?
Let me just look up a spell a second just to clarify something with myself.
How does Finger of Death work?
Okay, so you begin to watch. Actually, he's not going to do that. He's going to do the slightly cooler thing. He turns around and is going to make some swipes at Maddie.
What? That's not allowed.
A 18 plus. God, what is it?
Yeah, that hits already.
So, and it's not a regular attack. He isn't going with any claws.
Oh, no.
He's instead going with his palm, the palm of his hand, and you hear him sort of mumbling these words as they sort of splutter out of his mouth. And as they
I
hit,
look at this.
everyone over this ship can just hear this cacophonous boom as it ruptures out from his hand. And Mazzy, can you make me a strength saving throw?
I am indeed a strong person. I am a strong person. I am. Yes, I'm strong.
You are indeed a strong person. You do not move. You manage to hold your ground against this great force that pushes you backwards. However,
That could have been me dead right there.
this will take. This will deal a bit of damage. Shit!
I don't like the fact
Please
that
take
you're rolling
for
so
me.
many dice.
28 points of thunder damage.
Yeah.
That
As
spell, Thunder Slap.
that is not a spell. By the way, guys, thank you for that book you got me ages ago. That was primo.
Fuck you.
And that, I believe, is... Or actually, no. He will then use his spell slot to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. No, he can't, because they were all second level spells. So he doesn't actually have any of those left. So he is just going to stay here and hope nothing happens. Okay? And then this guy, who landed in the water, is going to use all of his movement to... I'm going to say he uses pretty much his entire movement to grab onto the ship, climb back onto the ship, and he's now just sort of at the banister of the ship, with all of his arms sort of looking... He's looking all creepy-like, but he doesn't have anything ranged he can potentially do. So that's pretty much him. We got a Mazzy.
I'm going to take that bitch slap to the face, stare him down, and then... Oh, it just hits, yes?
Unfortunately not.
Oh, advantage with Oramis.
Advantage with Oramis? Oh, that does hit.
Boom.
Get dead.
And get dead he does. As you
Yeah.
take this thing and using the momentum of it just sort of blowing you backwards, threatening to blow you backwards anyway, you turn around and deliver this sort of spinning attack with your blade that just lops off a fish's head. And the body
Oh, yeah.
crumbles. to the floor.
I'm then going to go up to here and just hold my sword, as in if he's about to put his head above the banister, it's sort of towards his neck.
Okay, cool.
Murder him.
I'll say because you've already taken.
And hold action as well. Yeah.
I'll say because you've started the, like you've done essentially half of an action of the attack action. I'll say you can't hold a full action to attack.
Okay, can I reach
But
him?
you can look threatening. You you can.
Oh well, I'll attack then.
You'll attack then.
Hunter's Mark
Roll
moves over
hit.
as well. Well, that was a bit
Does not
useless.
hit, however, as you swing your
I
blade.
swing and I
just use his bottom arms to keep him on, but then his top arms and the sort of top of his body just dodges backwards.
Mazzy, the boat is not your favoured terrain, is it?
It is not. Felix, you are up.
So, how's this boat looking? Is it looking like their ship? Is it looking like it's
It is.
stable in the water?
You've seen that it's sort of slowly going down and down and down. With every sort of rocking of each of the ships, you can tell it's slowly sort of taking on more water. You probably have maybe a minute or two before it fully sinks.
A minute or two? Oh, fuck that then. Stay where I can. Can't see anything. So, nothing.
Cool.
If there's only a minute on that
Griffin.
ship, I'm not getting on it.
Griffin, you are feeling more animated at the minute. What would you like to do?
As in I can move.
You can. That is off the ship. I don't know what this back thing is, but I know that it sort of comes up over the ship. Are you trying to get on the banisters and sort of hold yourself?
I didn't know if that was like a back bit where I could.
Isn't
Just
that
no,
like
hop on.
a set of rigging? Do they sort of
Yeah.
have a rigging that goes from the rear?
Yeah,
Hmm.
so I think, that's unfortunately not a place you can stand, is as far as I'm aware.
Absolutely stand on the rigging.
But you can reach him from there, yeah,
That's true.
in that.
I'll just attack him because
Go
I'm not happy that I was held. And these are all
I
going to be low
no,
rolls.
Griffin doesn't like to be held. He's not a hugger.
Oh!
Oh, my lord, alright.
Damn.
What? Sorry, I was taking notes when. So did Luke blow him off the boat? Did you do any damage to him, or did you just blow him off the
Yeah,
boat?
he did do 4 damage as his bottom part was sort of slammed
Oh,
against the side of
fucking
the boat.
worth. Okay, right. So he hasn't taken any hits, has he?
Oh, but you guys are all in the thing of Gust of Wind right now, actually.
Okay.
Both
Okay,
Mazzy and Griffin.
I'm not stepping into there if there was a gust of wind.
Well, no. It's just difficult terrain. It doesn't push you after the first.
It doesn't
move.
push
okay.
First move, are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, feel free to read the.
Oh yeah, a line of
description.
strong wind. Each creature that starts its turn in the line must succeed in a strength saving throw or be pushed 15 feet away from you in the direction of the line. So, Mazzy, would you like to take anything back, or are you okay?
Okay, if we're taking things back, I should have technically rolled a con save for Hunter's Mark before I killed the guy.
You should have.
I
27.
rolled it again and rolled it, got 11. Did that actually make a difference in killing him? Just want to.
No.
No, okay, cool. Right, if I know that wind's going to blow me back, I'm not going to step anywhere near that line. I'm going to
That is
stop
fair.
there.
That is fair. Griffin, would you like to take anything back, or are you just keeping on pushing on?
So where are we drawing in Oramis's wind?
The wind is basically in a diagonal line from Oramis to that guy.
Okay, what's the negative of
You get pushed.
You get pushed 15 feet away
If you start your turn.
when I'm in it?
if you start your turn.
Yeah.
So where was I? 5, 10, 15, 20.
Each creature that starts its turn in the line. Okay, so I guess if you move in and then move out, that would make a difference.
Okay.
But just to sort of remind you that you need to move out of the range first.
Well, I mean, so I've done this attack. I'm gonna do my second attack, and then I'm just gonna say, can you cancel this wind shit, Oramis?
I don't know if I can take an action to cancel the wind.
It's a free action to just cancel it.
Oh,
Sure, I'll say okay.
But that will be on your turn.
Spell slot,
Okay.
2d8.
So let's go back to the thing. So you
Oramis,
rolled
no,
a...
I can't do anything, Griffin.
No! Oh dear.
I'm assuming one-handed, so 11 plus 6.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. So that was all the damage for that. So that was
How's he looking?
1 plus. Oh god, 21 plus 4 is
35. 44.
He's looking. He's still looking.
Oh, this is the forearm guy, isn't it?
This is the forearmed guy, the slightly beefier one.
Hang on, I've added that up wrong. That is 20, 31, 40. It's 40.
40. Right. Okay.
Okay, and then I'll hit him again. Because we can do that.
You can indeed. Roll the hit.
Oh, catch it. Yeah. That's rubbish.
But on foot, second attack. This guy being very, very careful now of these attacks, especially with that quite devastating one from your first one, ducks underneath, just below the thing, your axe splintering the wood of the banister of the ship. Oramis, it is your turn.
I guess I'll cancel my spell.
Can't see a spell.
Step here,
Uh-huh.
and I will Shadow Blade.
Shadow Blade. 17 hits.
And if he's not dead already,
Oh, plus 9 damage. How would you like to do this?
can I just like slice through his head? Like
Yeah.
just swing down, chop through his head clean.
Yeah, chop through his head, clean your shadow blade, sort of making you sort of ghostly, almost like smoke as it splits the fishy sort of skull open, looking very much like when you sort of gut a fish from the top. You remove the blade, and all the arms just sort of go limp, and he flops into the water. We'll cancel the initiative. You have about a minute to pillage through this ship before you have to get back onto your own. You can all make investigation checks to look around really, really quickly, essentially seeing how much you can scrounge up and grab. Obviously, this is a ship for suffrage. You don't know what they prize or anything like that, but there we go.
I've done that.
All right. Mazzy, you're sort of a little bit more busy, sort of looking at the slightly impressed by these people and sort of what they've got. Their tridents look particularly effective. The way their sort of tips are, they're not sort of regular. They've got these sort of spiraled sort of metal that helps them push through the water or clean. Sort of pushes water sort of through this sort of spiral thing out the way. And you know, like of the sort of military essence of this ship, though obviously still covered in barnacles and all this stuff, you can tell there was military procession. You know, these are still soldiers, technically. The Griffin and Oramis, you guys are straight for the booty. Rushing down, there's nothing really on the top of the ship. Rushing down, you find a small, almost looks like a shrine at the back of the ship, with just one, like, it seems the only treasure on the ship. There's just this one chest below this shrine, sort of carved into wood at the back of the ship. Within this chest, you may find 50 gold pieces.
Each.
Who's finding this? Yeah.
I think the party fund is finding this.
I'll say, Griffin, you rolled the higher investigation, so you would find it first.
Ah, no, I'll just have to steal it from him in the night.
50 gold pieces.
Can I swipe it and just say, "Oh, there's nothing here"?
50 gold pieces, 20 silver pieces,
Oh.
and these two strange but rather beautiful looking amulets that almost look like sort of, well, they basically are sort of like sea pearls on a sort of silverish chain with some
Good then.
sort of symbol, sort of almost like drawn on or painted onto the front.
Lovely.
You're not entirely sure what that symbol means, but hey ho. If you wanted, you can make a check to try and thing it, or you
I'll
can
get off the boat first.
Yeah.
getting quickly off the boat. By the time you guys drag the chest over, your ship is ready, your crew is ready. You obviously, get yourselves back on, and it's about this time that you just hear this loud snap. The front of the ship just sort of snaps under its own weight, and just, and then it slowly but surely sinks down into the water. And from there, with the seas calm, you see no more enemies near you for the minute. What would you like to do?
We sail into the cave.
Yeah, let's.
I'd quite like to.
Anyone
No,
find
it was just crazy empty.
Can I? What would it be? Roll investigation on him? Not investigation.
The insight compared
Insight.
to
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Compared to my what?
I want
Persuasion.
to.
Yeah.
deception.
Alright.
If you are gone.
Sit down on the deck and start ritual casting water breathing on
Okay.
everyone.
Oh.
So I can cast that on 4 of us and 6 of the crew. So
Okay.
unfortunately, one of the
Nice.
crew is missing out. But
that is fine.
it'll take me 10 minutes to ritual cast.
Drake,
breathing. For 24 hours, we can breathe underwater.
Hey.
Nice.
Look at that.
Should we take a little short rest while you do that?
I'm happy
It
to
takes
take a
me
short
10
rest, do
minutes.
some hit dice.
Yeah, I think we should just rest up a little bit though.
Okay.
Of course.
I mean,
Yes.
are we technically resting while the crew sails us to the coast?
I mean,
Yeah.
it's probably take like an
Yeah,
hour maybe to
your
get.
crew will also begin to make some repairs for your ship. So over this period of the short rest, can you roll me 1 potentially hit dice for the ship?
Sure.
That is them repairing.
Oh.
12, very nice. You can add
That's
12.
for me, that's not for the crew.
Ah.
Roll a hit dice for the Dragon's Revenge.
Boom.
Add 9 HP back to Dragon is HP. You guys can roll as many hit dice as you want to get back to your sort of
Wait.
HP.
I don't really see the point in this, because surely I can just roll as many hit dice as I want until I get back to full health.
You can, but then on the next short rest, you won't have any hit dice. So say between now and your next short rest, you get absolutely destroyed. You have no more hit dice to use.
You've only got 11
So
hit dice.
is there a limit? If it's unlimited?
No, you've
No,
got
no,
11.
you have 11 hit dice to use.
Oh, okay, right, gotcha.
And you
Yeah,
only get half of them back on a long rest.
Yeah.
right, this makes more sense. Cool.
So, you guys are taking a short rest. Oramis, you can regain spell slots. Anyone can regain anything that they regain on a short rest.
Yeah, I get my
ooh.
cloud room back.
Exactly. As the crew sort of slowly repairs the ship, realizing that they're sort of between these two islands. So to anyone coming from the north or south, you do have some sort of visual, or at least, before then heading on to the island. You're saying you're bringing, was it Caspian onto the thing with you? Was it both?
Yeah. Let's bring Caspian because Dokrumir, he's a bit French. He might run away.
That's fair. Caspian sort of.
He's not bringing his sword, he's bringing his
some of the
little
crew
flag.
for him up. Some of their best stuff, and he gets a scimitar. He gets leather armor, and I will get you a. I'll get you a stat block for him.
Sick.
Sick indeed. You make your way towards this place. Frank tells you that he will, watch the coastline, make sure nothing sneaks up on you as you guys enter.
I know you will, good lad.
You disembark the ship. They sort of briefly anchor it up, or lightly anchor it. in a place where it's somewhat easy to pull back in case they need to make a quick escape. You climb over the rocks and move into the temple proper. Inside this temple is just as grand as the outside. It's a very large, open room. It seems like this beginning room you're in right now is sort of like a sort of entrance hall. Columns line the side, and this is outside. Like this is sort of above the water as you enter. Like the water streams through all these rocks, and the water is broken on all these rocks, so the waves don't sort of crash through, making it accessible to get inside. But water does sort of break through a lot of the ground and things, and you do see one sort of very large crack through the ground where some water has pooled through. You can see in the ceiling of the place like a lot of rock and stone and earth has fallen down into the area. And there is, on the other side of the room, a very large door. But as you're entering, sort of how are you entering this place? Are you just sort of walking right on in? Are you trying to be sneaky? Are you coming up with a plan? Or what's the plan here?
Do we see anything?
You can make a perception check.
Because if there's a bunch of people milling about on the dock, then I imagine we don't have much choice.
Yeah, you can make a perception check.
I did, it's just not loaded in. There we go.
17. As far as you're aware, you're looking around, and you don't see anything in particular. Can't really hear much. To your eyesight, there's nothing appearing. So you can move on in, and at the end of the room is a very, very large door. It seems this would be the kind of door that would lead you then on into the next area of the temple. This being a sort of entrance area that would then lead you down into the sort of temple proper, the probably more holy of places.
Push through the door?
Yeah.
Mhm.
You move towards the door in this very, very large room. And as you're pushing through, the sound of the sort of waves crashing outside, the sort of sound of sort of water dripping and things like that, as well as the wind howling through this place, through the cracks in the ceiling and through the columns out the front, it's a bit of a strange atmosphere, but very suddenly a terrifying one, as a trident flies through the air, and is there sneaking? 12 plus 7, that's 19 to hit. Who would be at the front of the group?
Oramis.
Who's leading?
I mean, yeah. Realistically, it's probably going to be Oramis.
Unfortunately, Oramis. 19 to hit.
Oh, yes, that hits.
And that will be 19 damage.
Oh, is it?
Or it's 9 damage. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Or it's 9 damage as you suddenly sort of recoil. One of the sort of spikes of this trident slices just down your back and slams down into the ground. And as you look around, you're beginning to at first wonder where it's from until you look up. And you can see, sort of clinging to the walls, is, as you look a little bit closer, a figure, a four-armed figure, whose scales shimmer in the light, like you've heard many sea creatures can do. The scales sort of move to cloud himself, sort of like change colour. There is much of this sort of gluttural shouting, and then many more turn and will also have a surprise round as well. As
Fantastic.
I bring you into this map.
They all look so squidgy.
They do look very, very squidgy. I use these, and I was looking at them last night, and I was like, I don't have time to make a token right now. Cause
No, they're cool, but they do.
God,
It's just the art style.
It is, yeah, it is.
Like when Mazzy's trying them with his sword, I just imagine he hits them, you just hear this squeak like a rubber duck.
I looked at the token like goblins for these guys, and the goblins just look funny as fuck. So this guy just drops himself off the thing with a sort of hard thud. This guy, and this guy, and this guy. This guy is going to once again cast a spell, and I wonder if you guys can guess what the spell is. Wait.
Bubble.
Yes, so actually being the first on the thing, Oramis, can you make me another wisdom saving throw?
Haha. Ooh.
I think
Plus
we're
4.
safe from fireballers. I doubt fish dwellers would have fire spells.
It was.
Yeah.
They do not.
Plus
But a
4.
personal favourite of theirs does seem to be hold person, as Oramis, you're once again paralyzed.
16.
Oh,
16.
16.
No?
16 does pass.
Oh, thank goodness.
These guys seem to have...
You look like you're going
Crossbows.
Oramis, and I just lean forward and give you a little tap on the bum, and then you don't.
These guys, these crossbows, again, sort of the wood slightly rotting in them, but they do... you can probably assume they work just fine, and they're going to take shots at... I'm going to say... I mean, the two most obvious people to sort of take shots at least this guy is... I think this guy's going to go for Oramis, because everyone seems to be piling onto him. It's 12 round. That's a 14 to hit Oramis, which I'm assuming doesn't.
Nope.
This guy can't see you over all the rocks, which is rather unfortunate. And that is where we'll roll initiative, but then we'll pick this up next session, because I understand it is hot 10.
Okay, let's have a little look at the initiative. I've rolled a 10.
He's
How
rolled.
many-
Oh. 2
Roll
nat
initiative
ones.
next week.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Sadly,
Actually, wank.
sadly not.
That is terrible.
The rolling's been atrocious this week. It's a good thing it doesn't matter.
Oh, they didn't roll particularly well either, but they've still beaten all of you.
I mean, collectively we've rolled 2 4s and 2 1s.
Aramis, for ease, I'm just going to say Caspian goes right after you.
Okay.
Yeah. Where is he?
Yeah, Caspian.
I'm going to say
He gets rolled into me.
he is a sort of buccaneer type. He knows pretty much what he's doing in combat, but if you tell him to do something, he'll go do it. You're his captain. So we got Oramis, then Mazzy, then Felix, then Griffin. I did once think about having a thing where if you roll a nat 1, you can like only take an action or a movement or a bonus action.
That slow.
Nothing.
That is
nothing
horrible.
on like the first round of combat, as well as thinking like if you rolled a natural 20, you get like an extra action. Like you get to take like an immediate action once you roll the initiative, and then you get your turn. But nah, not going to do that for now. Bring that in.
Whatever.
Maybe some other point. But yes, looks like you guys going to be fighting some fishy boys, and we will pick this up next session. Thank you all very much for joining me this week. And next week we will delve into this temple a little more. Some good old-fashioned classic D&D dungeon delving. Potentially under the depths of the sea.
Under the sea.
Under the sea. Under
Shocking.
the sea.
Everything's better
Well, that
down
JJ's
where
little
the
spell will
It does.
definitely come in handy.
Indeed. Yes.
No,
I can just see
do
me trying to
Monday
fire a
next
bow and
week.
going like a yard ahead of me and then just stopping.
So this is what I was thinking, right? So, yes.
Because we're doing Sunday again, so I don't know if you wanted to not do 3 days in a row.
I would.
Also, Monday is Valentine's Day. For those of you with
This is
lady friends.
So
This is going to be my point. So obviously, on the one hand, today was terrible. I got in, had to rush through dinner, and sit down, do D&D. Wasn't fun, especially because the line I need to take into work, the Northern Line, is having problems. Like two of the things are closed, so all the trains are backed up. So yesterday it took me like half an hour, when like on the tube should take me 10 minutes. So it was very, very stressful. So I'm happy to. I would rather do Monday, but obviously because next Monday is Valentine's Day, I understand if people can't or don't want to do that.
Yeah, I won't do Monday.
Probably can't or
For me.
either, because I'm obviously Chantel. So maybe Thursday would work better. We'll pencil in next Thursday, and I'll let you know sort of my timings and whether
I don't mind Thursday. It's just what works for you, and obviously.
Yeah. No,
Longest journey.
I should be alright to do Thursday. Yeah, it's just a case of maybe next week I'll just have to like ask Chantal to. I don't know. I'll have to buy like a pizza and ask her to stick it in the oven when I'm on my way home. But today we had mac and cheese, which was very, very nice, but not quick to cook. Yes. So I will see you guys next week for this. I will see some of you on Sunday for our Sunday game.